Okay, so welcome back to episode 2 of the podcast. Um, as you can tell, I'm a little sick. I think I've had pneumonia for like a month.
Yeah,
It's
at
been kind
least.
of crazy. So we have a new guest. We have Jamie here.
Hello.
Um, do you want to introduce yourself? So basically, what we did the first episode is we had us introduce ourselves and just talk about how we got started in the car sales.
Yeah, my name's Jamie. Like he said, I've been in the business for about 5 years of selling cars. Before that, I was working in appliance sales at Lowe's, and I was always one of the top guys. But that just meant I had to work more and not not get paid for it. So it was hourly pay, no commission. So if you sold way more than everybody else, you were just loading way more fridges and trucks, and it was just not fun at all. So I just wanted to go somewhere where I could get paid for the effort that I was putting in. So I took the leap of faith and went into car sales, and that was like 2 or 3 months before COVID, and so I got like a little taste of the pre-COVID car world, and then after that, obviously, it was a whole nother ball game after that.
So how'd you hear about selling cars? How'd you get into that?
I didn't know anybody that did it. I just know that like my parents worked at dealerships, but they worked on like the service side of it, and I know it was like commission pay, and I knew a little bit about cars, so I was like, leap of faith, just kind of jumped into it, and the rest was history.
It's a good jump, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, it changed my life for sure.
That's yeah, man. I mean, I think a lot of people who sticked around or who've done it for a few years. I mean, it's just kind of hard to find like things that pay that good for what you do. It's all performance based. Um, so I wanted to show you guys a few videos, but before we get started, I did want to say that over 60% of you guys that watch the podcast are actually not subscribed. So smash that subscribe button. That helps out the channel quite a lot. Um, so I just want to show a few videos. Have you guys seen the video of the guy running into the dealership, the Subaru
Oh
dealership?
yeah, the
Have you
Subaru
guys
guy.
seen that?
Yes.
Yeah,
Dude,
that's
that thing. So we're gonna play this video, and it talks about why the guy ran into it, and it also talks about they also interview the guy. Have you guys seen that?
No,
no.
I
So
haven't seen that
here,
one.
I'm gonna show it to you guys. We'll watch it real quick.
It's the heart-stopping moment an enraged driver crashes right into a car dealership.
Call the cops!
The men inside can't believe what just happened.
Is anybody under the car?
No.
Tyler Slade is a manager at the Mazda dealership in Sandy, Utah.
It was kind of a very, very scary situation.
The manager says earlier in the day, the driver had purchased a used Subaru Outback for $4,000.
Several hours later, he came back and he was very emotional, upset about the vehicle, had been to his mechanic, said there were some things wrong with it, and he would, like to get his money back. He said, listen, if you don't give me my money back right now, I'm going to run this car right through the front door.
Slade says the driver got so worked up, he got back in the car and hit the gas. You can see the driver getting cuffed by cops. And here he is, Michael Lee Murray.
What on earth were you thinking?
I was just really angry. I was upset about my money. I kind of blacked out for a second.
But Michael, in what universe is it okay to do this?
I know I probably shouldn't have done it, but I guess I just hit a breaking point.
There was no breaking point. He drove right through the building.
Dude, that's crazy. I can't believe like just having the mindset of driving through a dealership.
It was just weird not seeing a lesbian woman get out of it.
And what's even more surprising is a $4,000 car can get up that much.
Hey, that's a good
You
deal.
know what's crazy? That probably cost him more money than it did to just fix the car.
That's a good deal on the Subaru right there.
Dude. So, I mean, since we work in the car industry, it sounds like the video said he looked at this car when it hasn't been reconned yet, right? And then I imagine he paid cash for it, and warranty's pretty expensive on old cars like that. So when you buy a car, there's a thing called a due bill, and it just says you're buying it as is. And I'm almost 100% sure, and they showed him that paper, they explained it to him, and I just can't imagine just you know what I mean, just running through the dealership. I saw a report saying that they told him that they give him his money back. I'm not sure. That's just so
They
crazy.
did. It's called a new door.
Yeah, I mean, what sucks is, unfortunately, crazy people and stupid people are both allowed to drive on the roads as long as they can pass a driver's test. So for us, we do see quite a bit of interesting characters come through. And unfortunately, since, dumb and crazy people can buy cars, we have to be on that end of it. And you do run into them quite a bit, unfortunately.
Dude, it's crazy.
So, you want to know something? Working in a car dealership, how many times I've thought about doing that? Just working there. So I can imagine how these people would want to do it too. But
Yeah.
I wouldn't suggest doing it. It's a lot of money.
Yeah.
He actually, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I looked into it, and he caught a felony.
Really?
So I think he's on bail or something, but he's going, yeah, that's a felony, obviously. So
Yeah, that's a couple charges for sure, but it looked like he was back at work, so hey,
Right?
yeah,
enjoy it while it lasts.
It's
So-
a slap on the wrist, so I'd still throw it out.
dude, I don't know, I just can't believe it. I've had one customer working where we've had the cops called. I think he had to re-sign paperwork. Something went wrong in the deal. He had to re-sign. The manager was outside. It was a sales manager, desk manager. He was outside talking to a customer, and the guy was in his truck about to leave, and the sales manager was right next to his door, and he was like talking to him, and it was an old white guy, and he got upset. And he was just like, if you don't leave, I'm gonna pull out my gun. And then that was outside on the point, just trying to get an up, and I heard that. As soon as I heard that, I went back inside. And then as soon as the sales manager heard that, he just went back inside. We ended up calling the cops, and one of my internet director was like, "Man, you don't make threats like that. We all have guns here." So it was, yeah, so the police ended up coming, talking to the guy, and then the guy got like super, super nice. He was all, "Oh, no, like, I don't know," he started making up excuses. You could just see him just, backtrack on everything he said. And, the crazy part is he ended up re-signing his paperwork, and then he left. So I don't know if you guys have had similar stories or like having cops involved or just any like outrages like that.
I had a customer stab a cop.
What do you mean?
So it was like early one day, like 8 a.m., like she was there, this customer was there before even the salespeople were, and she was just like waiting outside. And so I was like one of the first ones there, so I started talking to her, and she seemed like a normal person. She was put together. She was, you could tell like she worked out and stuff like that. It didn't seem like there was anything off about her or anything. But as I started talking to her, you kind of get like this weird vibe from her. She's kind of all over the place. She had a car that she bought. It was a Frontier that she bought from CarMax like a week before, and she's like, "I hate this thing. I don't want it." And that was kind of like a red flag right away, because now all of a sudden she wanted like an Altima or something, and it was like, that's kind of weird how after a week you lose interest in a truck. But I was like, okay, whatever. And this was like fresh after COVID, so we weren't going on test drives with customers. So she had a license, she had insurance. I copied that, put her on the road, and then while she was on the test drive, her mom showed up, like drove in super fast, was freaking out, and was like, "Where's my daughter? Where's my daughter?" And I was like, "Oh, well, she's on a test drive right now." And she's like, "My daughter's crazy. You didn't go with her?" And I'm like, "No, I mean, she has
Was I
everything she
supposed to
needs."
check if she was crazy before she went?
Yeah, I
I'm
mean, she had
sorry.
everything she needed, so I put her on the road. She's just out driving the car, and she's like, she thinks the government talks to her through the radio, and she thinks that there's like,
Schizophrenia.
I would have been
Yeah.
like, "Ma'am, how did you let your daughter out of the house without you
yeah,
doing
like
this?"
that's not my fault. I mean, she has everything she needs, so she's on the road, and then she eventually came back, so it wasn't a big deal, and then she ended up buying the car, and it was like a 10-pounder deal because she just said yes to everything, and I was like, okay, sweet, all right. And And after the sale, like for like days and weeks after, she would like send me texts. Like she added like dinosaur stickers to the back of the car, and she would just text me a video of her like filming close up of the stickers and whatnot. I'm like, I mean, okay, whatever, cool, looks great. I made some good money on you. I'll entertain it as long as I need to. And then one day I was at home. I was off that day, and I was like sitting on the couch watching TV or something, and my girlfriend was next to me, and my phone rings, and I didn't know what the number was. I never saved her number or anything, and my phone rings, and I check it, and I answer. I'm like, hello? And in car sales, you get calls all the time. People give your number out to other people, and she's like, hey, it's me. And I'm like, oh, God. She's like, hey, I'm not doing anything later. Do you want to come over? And I'm like, yeah, I'm a little busy. And she's like, well, when do you not work? And I'm like, I always work. Just trying to just get out of it. And then the very next day from that, when she called me, the finance manager that did the deal, he calls me into his office. He's like, hey, did you check the news today? I'm like, no, I didn't. Why? He's like, well, our customer, the lady that traded in the Frontier, and immediately I knew who he was talking about. He said her mom just called and said that she's in jail, so you might want to check the news. And I pull up the news article, and she had like the morning after she wanted me to hang out at like 4 a.m. She drove to the Clark County bus station where they keep all the buses, and all the bus drivers were like coming in for the morning to go on their routes and pick up kids. And she comes peeling in the car that I sold her, and she whips out of the car and she comes running up to everybody, and she's like, hey, I need $1, please. Does anybody have $1? I need $1 right now, please. And they're like, no, we don't have $1. And she like kept harassing him. They called the police. The police show up a couple minutes later, and this officer comes up just to ask her what's going on, and she just slashes him in the face with a knife, just across the cheek, just cuts him wide open. He's okay, I guess. I mean, I don't. That was really the gist of it. Was the article that I saw, but luckily she had made the first payment early, so the car deal stuck. But beyond that, I don't know what happened. But that was the last I heard of her. But
Why did the mom call the finance manager?
she said, "Hey, I don't know if you saw the news or not, but my daughter, she was in a little incident, and I don't know what we're supposed to do with the car, but." She's going to be away for a while, and that's really all she said.
Oh my
and
God.
He pulled it up online, searched her name, and lo and behold, that's what was happened. The day after she wanted me to hang out, so it was a good thing I was already seeing somebody, because that would have been I don't know what would have happened to me. I would have ended up in the
In the news.
Lake Mead or something.
Would you have been desperate enough if you were single to hang out with her though?
I mean, she looked normal. She didn't look like weird or anything. Like she was my age, but it was just like. There was a lot of red flags just from talking to her throughout the experience, so I just knew right out of the gate, like, this is not something that's even worth it, even if I, hadn't been with, my girlfriend, who I'm still with, but it was absolutely insane. Whole experience.
Was that in Vegas, or was that in?
Yeah, that was at, that's
No
when I worked
way.
at Nissan. Yeah.
Really? At Nissan, all right.
Well, it's still,
That makes sense.
Isn't it crazy doing this job? Isn't it crazy how many people are not normal in the world that we
and it's
interact with?
kind of concerning.
Yeah. Oh, remember? So in the last episode, we talked about that lady who you worked with, and she didn't like you, and she called you when you got in your driveway, and was talking about how you made her and her boyfriend break up. And then Alan was supposed to work with her, and I ended up working with her, and she started tripping on me because she lost the key.
That was a customer.
Yeah, that was a customer.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, a lady that I work with. Okay, like,
Yeah, we
Then
talked
he's
about
talking
it
about an
last
ex-girlfriend.
episode, and then she started cursing at everybody. She started cursing at me.
Yeah, and her
Everybody
boyfriend
do.
wasn't even at the dealership. He's a
I've
truck
never seen her
driver.
boyfriend.
He's a truck driver. He was like in like the East Coast or something like that. And I just presented the numbers, and then she called him, and then she said she needed to think about it or something, and she left, and then I called her back later. Or no, she called me back. I was on my way home. I like just pulled into my driveway, and then she called me and was like, "It's all your fault. I can't believe you made me and my boyfriend break up." I'm like, "What? I didn't even talk to your boyfriend." And I don't. Yeah, that was
Dude, that lady almost hit another salesman.
in a
She
car,
she almost hit Don Nesta.
in a like physically or with.
Yeah, so she was driving. She got out of the parking spot in the front lot. She was driving, and she looked. She was like looking at me, and she was cussing at me. She's like, "I'm not." She's like, "You're awful. I'm never gonna be back." and she was like looking at me like this. She was driving and she was looking at me, and then she saw it down last minute. She wasn't gonna like obliterate him, but she was still gonna, just like tap him.
Oh my
But yeah,
god.
it's just crazy how like sometimes like not everybody's normal, and sometimes we
She
meet.
came back and bought, right?
Yeah, we sold her.
You sold her the car.
She got upset too because I didn't give her like the special treatment. I didn't give her a bow in her car.
Oh yeah.
All that stuff, like CarMax style, you know what I mean? So
The only special treatment she needs is in a psych ward.
yeah, she was pretty crazy. I'm not gonna lie. So the next thing I want to talk about is, I'm sure you guys heard of the CEO killing, the guy getting shot. But did you guys know that I don't know if you guys seen the internet, but a lot of people have support for the guy who took the CEO down. And, I have this video I wanted to show you guys. The workers getting a lot of hate.
This McDonald's was really a turning point in the investigation, but some online are bashing it. We've seen security outside and inside during the day, and Pennsylvania State Police released these new photos of the 26-year-old suspect, Luigi Maggioni, inside the McDonald's eating moments before the arrest. Now, there's been a lot of talk online about what went down at this McDonald's. We checked Yelp, and many are review bombing this McDonald's location. A lot of reviews are negative, saying Maggioni was ratted out to police. One went as far as calling him Peter Parker, which is the same name as the fictional superhero Spider-Man. Yelp put out an alert saying they've temporarily disabled posting for this McDonald's location.
Like the person who's taken from this McDonald's, I don't think he was a great person either, but he had a good intention. The guy who was shot, he made other people lose a lot of their lives, a lot of their family members. He needed to be caught.
As you just heard, there are a lot of different opinions about this situation. Some are not sympathizing with the CEO's death, and others are glad the suspect was caught. At a press conference yesterday, Pennsylvania's Governor Josh Shapiro spoke about the different reactions the person of interest is getting online. Go ahead and take a listen.
This killer is being hailed as a hero. Hear me on this. He is no hero. The real hero in this story is the person who called 911 at McDonald's this morning.
State police are trying to get more information about where Luigi Maggioni was before he was taken into custody, while investigators tried to piece together their case. Reporting in Altoona, TJ Anthony, back to you.
Oh, I like that sweater.
That's not a bad sweater. But I feel like the person who ratted him out isn't like, it sounds like it's an older person, because even if I saw that dude out in public, I wouldn't rat him out just because the overwhelming support of what he's gotten. Dude, you're just going to get hate. Like, I'm pretty sure this person has received death threats. The McDonald's is getting review bombed. So I don't know.
Yeah, but you would think about that before doing that. This guy didn't think about that because he didn't grow up in that kind of time. You know what I mean? If he's older than me, he didn't grow up in that kind of time. So he's not thinking about the online hate. He probably doesn't even go online, so who cares about the online hate? You know what I mean?
He doesn't even qualify for the reward money.
Yeah, that's what I was going to talk about.
I don't know if I would turn him in. That's not a lot of money. That's not life-changing money for me to turn somebody in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but like, what is it, like 50,000?
Yeah.
50,000 is good.
But
Even if they take the taxes out,
I mean, you got to pay the guy, because in the future now, if people are in that position where they can turn somebody in for money, they're going to be thinking, oh, well, the last guy didn't even get paid, so why am I going to put myself out on the line and not even get a dime for it when you guys are promising $50,000? Like, $50,000 to the state of wherever that was is probably not too much money, so it's like a little ridiculous that they're hitting you with the fine print. It's funny, people always say, car dealerships are the shady ones, but it's really any other aspect of life where they pull things like that. We have to be so by the book and so on cue and make sure everything is laid out for people, and you see stuff like that where it's like, oh, well, the fine print says that you didn't qualify for the money. So, but thank you though, appreciate it.
You know what? That's actually a really big problem with the reward money. I kind of looked into it, and from what I've seen, that a lot of people who don't follow the steps and the processes, they actually don't get paid out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's actually kind of a problem that a lot of people don't get paid out, which is crazy because, like, you know.
You're telling me that, like, those FBI tip line things have a process you have to follow, not just
It's
call?
like a council you have to go into.
Really?
They like vote on it.
Like, you have to go through Crime Stoppers, like, not just call 911. You just, yeah. So it sucks, man.
Well, it sucks for that guy.
Yeah.
It sucks for the guy who got caught, who got ratted out, right?
I guess, yeah. I mean, I don't. The thing is, like, why would you go out and go eat in the restaurant
He's
after
hungry.
what you just did?
I don't think that's the guy. I don't know. There's so few details on the whole situation where in one situation he's this cold-blooded, calculated killer, and then the next he's just chilling in a McDonald's with a bunch of weird stuff in his backpack. Yeah. So I don't know. I think it all seems a little shaky. I think based on the situation and how high profile the guy that was killed was, I think they have to find somebody no matter what. I think just for their own image, they need to find somebody and anybody, and they're willing to let somebody take the fall in order to make them look good.
There's been other killings. I don't know how recent, but there's been other that haven't been solved. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't think they really had to solve it. He kind of looks like it was him. I'm sure sophisticated equipment nowadays, they can track you no matter what. If you got a phone on you, they're going to find you.
Yeah.
Nope.
I just feel like the people were kind of falling in love with this guy, and they were trying to find something as soon as possible just to kind of get it over and done with before it grows and turns into more situations like this where people are going rogue and, you know, taking out people that they think deserve to be, you know, excommunicated.
You don't think this is going to lead to more?
Well, there was a lady that got
in Florida?
I think it was in Florida. Yeah, she made a threat
Yeah, I saw
to
that. She
said,
the
"You're
company.
next. You're next,
She
buddy."
said, "You're next," and she went to jail. She got sentenced, bro. Like, all right, like saying you're next is like, you know, I get it. Like, you're making a threat,
Yeah.
but it's like, come on, you know what I mean? I don't know. That's kind of wild. One thing is making a threat to a president, and then the other is, you know.
Well, I think this is probably going to lead to more people thinking about doing this stuff like this.
I've seen a lot of jokes about it. I've seen a lot of like, was it Blue Cross? Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield, something like that. They said that they wanted to
The anesthesia.
And then like within a week or something, they were like, oh, never mind. They like backtrack
It
on.
was like hours later.
Yeah, they backtracked on what they wanted to do.
Yeah, it wasn't good timing on their part.
No, not at all. That's funny.
They'll circle back.
Have you guys seen the drones that are hovering over New Jersey? Have you heard about?
Yes.
Yeah. So we're gonna play one more video. This is talking about the drones.
People in New Jersey are concerned and demanding information after a wave of mysterious drone sightings. But the government has yet to give any concrete answers. One lawmaker is calling for a state of emergency, while another has an ominous theory about a foreign adversary. Here's CBS's Tom Hansen.
This is over my house right now. What is that?
It's the million-dollar question baffling New Jersey residents looking skyward.
They're just pacing back and forth, going very slow.
Since last month, dozens of drones mysteriously hovering in the skies at night. Near Morris County, the FAA has now ordered 2 temporary flight restrictions prohibiting drones over this military base and Trump National Golf Club after receiving reports of unexplained activity. Today, Homeland Security and state police met with some New Jersey officials, including Mayor Jim Maley.
I truly don't believe they have any idea where the drones are coming from.
Many still have questions, including Congressman Jeff Van Drew, who says individuals with high security clearance have a theory about where the drones come from.
Their concern is that a mothership has left from Iran weeks ago, coinciding about the time somewhere along the area of the United States. It doesn't mean they're right off the coast.
But in a briefing today, Pentagon officials dismissed the claim outright.
We have no evidence that these activities are coming from a foreign entity or the work of an adversary.
In Mendham, New Jersey, Olivia DiMattio's coffee shop is right near the sensitive locations where the drones have been spotted.
How big are these things? You know, are they different sizes?
They are the size of small cars. like almost like a Mini Cooper or a Ford Escape size. So it's not something that a kid is buying off of Amazon and flying around as a prank. Like it's way, way past that.
And we're here in front of Picatinny Arsenal. It provides munitions products for all branches of the U.S. military. It's also one of those sensitive sites that these drones have flown close to. And Nora, both lawmakers we spoke to today say one of these drones needs to be taken down safely so they can get some answers.
Yeah. America.
Bro,
I just hope it is alien so they can just get it over with so I don't have to pay any more bills.
I read a lot on this. Just because it interests me. And I read one person said that there's some aviation act that's going, it's going to be done. And they're doing this to increase, they're going to increase something. I don't know. Like the government's behind it, of course.
Yeah. I saw it was like they're doing like a sweep for like a dirty bomb, I guess, on the ports, is what I was told, or read, I should say. I guess those drones have like capabilities of monitoring like radiation and things like that.
And they're looking for a certain element.
Yeah, and they're also doing it privately and quietly to see what the public reaction would be, so that in the future, if there is events where they need to do a sweep like that, looking for a dirty bomb or something, that they kind of know what to expect from the public. But yeah, I saw videos of like these white trash guys in New Jersey, like with their guns, just shooting rounds up in the
I've seen
sky.
that too.
And then CNN went out and they're like, they took their own drone out there, and now CNN was flying a drone out at night saying like, yeah, this is what a drone looks like in the sky. And so I'm sure 20 other people saw that and took a video of that and were like, oh my God, there's one right there. And it's just people just flying drones around out there. But I don't know.
Did you see that video? I saw a video this morning of an orange drone by itself, like an orange orb, and a drone went up to it. And as soon as it got to it, the battery stopped and it died, and it just fell from the sky. I saw that this morning. It was like in Arizona.
Yeah, I don't know. It's above my pay grade.
I hope if it is aliens, I hope they come not on a Friday. Do that shit on a Monday so we don't have to work or something.
Yeah.
You know?
I've seen.
I hope they're very interested in getting a driver's license in need of a car.
Multiple. There's going to be a bunch of them on a ship, I hope.
Yeah.
I hope
it causes less panic when you're on the road than on the sky.
Yeah, so, give them a great deal on a Civic.
I think they're going to.
It's a hybrid.
It's smaller than a Mini Cooper, dude. So they're driving things that are Mini Cooper to Ford Escape.
Yeah, why? If you have that much advancement in technology, why fly around in a Mini Cooper? Like, get something that's reliable. It's going to treat you well for a long time, and put some money back in your pocket when you're ready to trade it in. You know.
Maybe an Accord.
I saw that. So I saw a video of a guy who's a drone specialist, and he was saying that it's probably not aliens because apparently they're really loud. And whenever all UFO sightings, they talk about how quiet they are. And I also saw that they're not foreign because they would have shot them down by now if they were foreign. Just like when the weather balloon came by. So the guy was saying it's probably the government, and they just haven't told anyone, and they don't want to say what it's for. And I've been seeing a conspiracy called like something like Blue Flag. Hold on, I have it written down right here.
If it wasn't the government,
Project Bluebeam.
Yeah, Project Bluebeam, where it talks about how they're gonna fake a alien invasion or some type of a fake event to start a new world order, and it's just something crazy.
If it wasn't the government, they wouldn't be in the air anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's how I feel.
They haven't redirected flights. They haven't done anything. It's the government. It's good old Uncle Sam.
Always.
But the orbs and everything like that, it could be in response to that. But I don't know. People, I mean, just like we were talking about earlier, people aren't super bright across the board. So sometimes things can get a little overexcited when there's not a straight up answer. And even if there's a straight up answer, people will still be like, you guys are lying. You guys are hiding something.
Well, what would be even better is if somebody could take a freaking clear video of these things instead of just focus. It turns into this big ball, and then it's like, come on, man, let's see what it really looks like instead of you gotta see it. No shit, we gotta see it. Show us a video.
Yeah, and with video editing nowadays and everything, you can make any video you want and make it look real. There's no proof of anything nowadays. There's nothing you can do to prove or deny somebody's blurry iPhone video that they post online and it blows up.
If you're filming something, are you gonna be like this? That's what it seems like. How everybody films, and like they have stabilization in their cameras, but
Yeah.
still like this. It's like,
Yeah.
is everybody like got Tourette's or Parkinson's that are filming these videos? Because that's what it seems like.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people in Jersey. I feel like there's at least a few people with great camera technology that could just go outside at night and actually get a good video, but that never seems to be the case.
It's it's always like the people that have the shittiest shit that post it online too.
Yeah, I can get a telescope and go, take clear photographs of the surface of the moon, but this thing that's 250 feet above the ground with flashing lights on it, that's, we're not there yet.
How's car sales right now for you guys?
Starting to pick up actually.
Is
It
it?
feels like
It
it.
usually picks up towards the end of the month.
Well, it seems like I don't know. People are responding more. It's like they're not scared to spend their money, even though like they have Christmas coming up. Like yesterday, we had our Christmas party, so yesterday was a weird day. I feel like if I went to a dealership and they were having a Christmas party, I feel obligated to buy. So I feel like anybody who came in after 6 o'clock was like, "Oh, well, I must buy. I'm interrupting them," So
Yeah.
I think it kind of skewed stuff. I think we sold quite a bit yesterday, though. I don't know.
I don't think any of them were for the special event that we had, but it picked up later on in the afternoon. It wasn't busy early on, but it picked up throughout the day.
I actually I had a special event person.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, one.
Okay, there you go.
Well, he was like 80 years old, and he needed to upgrade, so it was an easy one.
Yeah.
So anyone who's looking to get a good car deal, what would you guys recommend right now? Me personally, I would tell them probably wait towards like the last week, maybe last day of the month, and just come in super early, and maybe ask for something crazy, and you probably
I would say
probably get a steal.
No, I would say come in tomorrow, first thing in the morning, and ask for a crazy deal because you never know. Every day they're making crazy deals.
Yeah, I mean, dealerships want to sell cars every day. They don't want to sell cars just on the last day of the month or the last day of the week. Every day they have a quota that they're supposed to be hitting. So you can get a great deal. Sunny, snowy, windy, cold. It doesn't really matter as long as you're at least reasonable. And just like be nice. People come in and they have their guard up and they're just being rude out of the gate. And it's like, that does not motivate me at all to fight for you with my boss to get you a great deal. Like you see single mothers come in that are, struggling to get by. And then you see, these guys that make, 6 figures plus a year come in and they're just straight jerks the whole time. And it's like, between the two of you, I'm going to try to help the single mother that's, trying to just pay rent. I'm going to try to help her out more than I'm going to try to help this jerk that's coming in that's making all this money that's trying to beat me up for, a couple $1,000s when that's, a few days of work for him. Like, just be nice to your salespeople. Obviously, with the internet now, like, there's no crazy high prices anywhere. I mean, back in the day before the internet, you'd walk onto a lot and, oh, what's the price of this car? 20 grand.
How much do you think it is?
Okay, all right, cool. No, everybody's got their prices online. Everybody can do research before they come in. Most people do research before they come in, so it's not like anybody's coming in with an unjustifiable price. People are putting their best price forward because, that's how you get business. Otherwise, they're just going to go somewhere else. So it's super easy. Just go in and, don't go crazy and ask for the moon and everything like that, but just be nice and make it a great experience, and you'll get probably whatever you could think of reasonably asking for.
I feel like if you're not going to buy a car and you're nice to me, at least you didn't waste my time and be a dick,
Yeah, and even if you don't come to an agreement that day, I'm gonna, in a couple of days when I need another deal or two, I'm gonna go back and circle back and bug my boss again for you to, see if we can make something happen. But when you're a jerk, it's just I just want you out of my life forever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go buy somewhere else. Thank you.
That's an important thing. Like if you're nice and you have a reasonable deal, online price, maybe do Kelley Blue Book. You maybe we'll get as close to what Kelley Blue Book says. Sometimes people kind of lie on Kelley Blue Book, get a little bit higher. But
they put wrong condition on the vehicle.
Yeah, they put the perfect condition. Yeah. It's like good. But as long as you're nice and reasonable, you're gonna get a good deal. But I just don't understand why people come in and are just rude. Like, yeah, we're still gonna work on it, but I'm not gonna try and convince my boss. Exactly what James said. I'm gonna convince my boss more in a person who's been nice to me, who's has a reasonable deal offer. You know what I mean?
People see us as like on the dealership side, which is true to an extent, but like what they don't understand is like they think that we're all on the same page and we're all trying to pay the light bill for the building and pay. Like I don't own the cars. I don't pay any bill here. All my job is to find a car that works for you and your situation and try to find an agreement. You're literally a mediator between the dealership and the customer. And most of the time you're probably, a little bit more towards the customer's side where you're like trying to find a way to make both sides happy to come to an agreement, because obviously what one side wants might not be doable for the other side, because a business is a business. You're going to try to make as much money as possible no matter what. Nobody's walking into Best Buy asking them for, $500 off of a brand new television, but car dealerships, unfortunately, it's a big purchase, and so people, come in with that notion that they can, haggle, which is perfectly fine, but, there's only so much that you can do. And it's like, we're here to help you. We're here to help us because I don't get paid hourly. I need to sell a car to pay my bills. So I'll give you a crazy price if I can. I just need you to work with me and help me out and make that happen.
One thing, too, don't get advice from TikTok, please.
Yeah.
Because it makes you look like an idiot. And 99 times out of 100, it's not true. I had a guy that's like, so that 1% for a lease is still true, right? And I'm like, well, what are you talking about? He's like, oh, you take 1% of the MSRP, and that's what the payment's going to be on a lease. I'm like, bro, what are you talking about? I've never heard that. He's like, yeah, on TikTok. I'm like, bro, okay, listen. Better way, just take the MSRP, cut it in half, and divide it by 36. You'd be closer.
Yeah.
But still, I was like, bro, you're going to be like $450 a month on this $30,000 car. 1% says 3. Okay, let's go to do the math, man. Don't listen to TikTok, fellas, please.
Yeah, people watch their YouTube videos, and you can tell right out of the gate when they've watched the YouTube videos. They'll wait until the very end and then be like, I do actually have a trade-in.
I hate that with a passion.
Like, that does not help you.
I hate that so much. Dude, I had a service customer. I worked the whole deal. Guy got an amazing, good deal. And I asked him, is there a trade involved? No. Okay, so you're just going to keep the trade? And he's like, yeah, we're going to keep it for a second car. Towards the end of it, he's like, you know what? Can I just see what you guys would give me for my trade? And I was like, dude, didn't you say that you didn't want to put a trade in? He was like, yeah, but I just want to see. I'm like, so this is not going to affect the deal, right? He's like, no. We come back, we give him an offer. He's like, are you serious? That's all? I was like, dude, well, the paint is coming off of the hood of the car. It's a manual, so not a lot of people can drive it. Service says that it needs transmission work. It needs, and then he's like, don't insult me by telling me what my car needs. I take good care of my car. I was like, dude, okay, then let's not include the trade. He's like, no, we have to do the deal with the trade.
Sir, I pushed it in for a reason.
Yeah, so I was just like, I was like, dude, like, why would you do all this after we've done? I was with this guy for like an hour and a half, just on a negotiation alone. And then he put his trade involved in at the very last second. And then I talked with one of the managers there, and he's like, oh, you mean, I almost said his name. You mean this person? And then he's like, yeah. He's like, yeah, I tried selling him a car not too long ago. And then we didn't give him enough for his trade. I was like, dude, that's exactly what just happened.
Sir, we do not pay you for your memories, okay?
Yeah. I hate that when they add trade at the end. It doesn't happen too much with me, but when it does, it just sucks.
And those are the same people that be like, man, this is taking forever. I've been here for 5 hours. Like, yeah, you
know why?
You just added another whole portion of this car deal at the very end of it all. I could have knocked that appraisal out before we even looked at a new car.
Sir, we drove 22 cars. Come on.
Those are all those people that are like, man, I hate how much time it takes. Is this going to take long? How quickly can you make this a process?
Well, it's on you.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
You know what's crazy is that's one of the reasons why people justify buying new Teslas. Like, I get it. If you like a Tesla, you want a brand new one and you want to buy it, go ahead. But some people would just use like, oh, it's so easy to buy a Tesla. It only takes like 5 minutes. It's like, yeah, but you're getting cracked. You're getting cracked for the software.
By Elon Musk.
Yeah, it's just like there's no negotiation on Teslas.
You know, I wish every deal only took 45 minutes.
Yeah.
From start to finish.
Yeah, if you say yes to the first deal we show you, you're gonna get in there in and out.
Even if they say yes, like say 20 minutes for the meet and greet and the test drive.
Yeah.
Then by the time you get numbers, 25 minutes. You know what I mean? 25 minutes, that's it. And then the other time, it's all finance. So the faster you agree, the faster you can leave.
It's just so funny how many people are like, I can't wait for the car dealership model to be gone. I can't wait for it just to be all digital and not face to face. And it's like, you don't understand what you're asking for. Like I see videos all the time, people buying from Carvana, and they put a little coin in the machine and it spits out a car. And then like there's a flat tire or something, or there's a scratch on the car. And it's like, you have no asset to get in touch with to help you out. Like if you work with a salesperson and you have an issue at any point down the road, like you have somebody that you can pick up the phone and call that's going to go and fight for you at the business versus buying a car from a machine or having a tow truck drop it off in your driveway. Hey, the tire's flat. What's the tow truck driver going to do? He's like, oh, okay, well, call this number and you can open up a claim. And it's just a horrible, horrible experience. You can't work with someone, and you don't have someone like us that will sit down and find you the best solution for what you need. Because a lot of people come in thinking that they need one thing, when in reality for their life and what's going on, in the back of your head, the perfect kind of vehicle, the perfect type of deal, because you see it every day when these people, people buy at the most maybe 20 cars in their life, and, we're selling 20 cars a month a person. And so you kind of have a better knowledge in your back pocket to help these people out versus just going online on a computer, picking out some car that you've never seen inside of, you've never touched, you've never smelled, and then it just gets pooped out of this machine. And they don't do any servicing, they don't do any reconditioning on the vehicles, and that's why they give you that 90-day return policy, because you're probably going to have something come up on this car that you're not going to be happy with, and that gives them 90 days to figure it out for you. But like with Teslas, it's the same thing. You don't have a salesperson to deal with. You order it online. You get the runaround. I know people that work at Tesla, and I hear about the stories all the time. And then the other side of that is you buy a new Tesla, and then 2 months later, Tesla slashes the prices of their new cars.
And it's not like hundreds of dollars. It's
thousands of dollars. So now you are stuck in your Tesla forever, because why would I buy your used Tesla when I can go buy a new one for $7,000 cheaper than what you just bought yours for? If that happened to me, I would be livid. If I bought a car and then a month later it's $7,000 cheaper, and now mine has 2,000 miles on it. Insane.
So for those who are unaware of how pricing works, so what he was talking about was Tesla will have an MSRP, right? And then obviously a car depreciates. So the used car price is going to be lower than what a brand new one is. But then when you start doing crazy discounts off the MSRP, everyone who bought a car previously on Tesla
loses
the value even more. So usually when people first get a brand new car, they're a little bit flip, right? They can be anywhere from $2,000 to $6,000 flip. But then these prices, these discounted prices that they're doing, slashing just a crazy amount off the MSRP, now you're getting people that are $10,000 to $15,000 buried, which means when you try to sell your car or you try to trade it in, you have to put $10,000, $15,000 to offset the value of what you owe to the bank versus what the car is worth. I actually have a friend who's like 20 G's flipped right now on the Tesla just because of the discounting prices. Yeah, it's
Tesla.
Yeah, so hopefully he has gap insurance. I already told him what to do.
I had a customer the other day come in, this old guy looking for a used Civic or a used CRV for Ubering. And he's like, oh, wow, okay, wow. And then his son-in-law shows up, and he's like, oh, you should just buy a Tesla. You can get a new Tesla for cheaper than this. And then he literally says, I'm like super upside down on mine right now, but you can buy them for a really good price. And he's like, oh, really? Oh, wow. It's like you literally just contradicted yourself. Like, why would you not buy a Honda that you can sell at any point in time and get a Tesla that your family is telling you you're gonna be upside down on a lot, especially Ubering, putting a bunch of miles on it.
Yeah.
That's just absolute insanity. People just they go for it, which is just crazy.
It's because after a monthly payment, they don't think about the future. A lot of people live in the now. And that kind of sucks when you buy a car, too, because you try to educate people a little bit. and sometimes it doesn't work.
Yeah.
A new Civic is like 24, 25 for a base model. Even a base model, you still get push to start, Apple CarPlay, adaptive cruise control. I think Honda's doing really good for the Civics and just, cheap cars. And then if you look at like a 2018, 2020 Civic, they're selling for like 18 grand. So it's like,
20.
yeah, used.
Yeah.
Used. And same model and a few years old. And it's just like,
It's like 6 years old and it's still
yeah,
holding
it's
its
still
value.
like 18, 16. If you buy a brand new one for like 24, you're investing in something that's going to hold its value pretty good.
Yeah, it's one thing you don't have to worry about when you buy a Honda.
Yeah, but there's no "I told you so" in this business. Whenever you're right, there's no car deal.
Of course.
And whenever you say "I told you so," that means they went somewhere else, bought something else, and then they called you back later and told you that probably wasn't the right decision to make.
Yep.
It pays to be wrong in this business.
Yeah.
I've never had that call.
Really?
Yeah, I've never had someone. Well,
no one's going to swallow their pride and call you back and say,
Yeah.
"Oh, you were right."
Yeah.
But you follow up with them, and then this, that, and the other. They come back in a year, and it's just it's kind of crazy. But you can't tell somebody, "Oh, I told you so," because that means you didn't sell them a car.
Well, you can when they come back.
Yeah, but that's the thing is they're not going to swallow their pride and come back. They're already at the next place. They're just going to swallow their pride there. And
I'm talking about when they're ready to get rid of that mistake they made.
oh yeah, 100%. And then they're flipped.
Yeah, I told you. Yeah, we got you 0%. 0% interest from the banks, man. Nobody wants to buy your loan. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, I can go get a new Dodge, and they got $5,000 in rebates and 0%. And like, yeah, because nobody's buying them. You're gonna get a brand new 2023.
I used to work at Dodge.
Yeah, it's not.
The credit is like under 7. It's like 640 to 680 average, and then the cars are like 60 grand.
You know what's
like
nice
the average
about
price on the new ones are like 60 grand.
what's nice about like the Honda brand? It seems like we don't get too many people you have to worry about their credit. You walk in, like even if they don't look like they look disheveled, you still and you talk to them, you can tell they have their shit together.
Yeah.
And it's not like you have to worry about their credit a lot of the time with the deals we have to deal with. That's what it seems like.
Yeah, it's like that a lot at Honda. People that buy Hondas are usually they don't care about
They're
buying
pretty
a
smart.
sports car. Yeah, they don't want a sports car. They want a car that's reliable, that's going to hold its value. And so people that don't care about getting a new Scat Pack Hellcat or a Corvette, things like that, that's the buyers you get. Same thing with Toyota too. You get these contractors in, and they don't speak much English, and they got paint and grout all over them.
81.
And then they pull 10 grand out of their pocket as a down payment and their 850 score, and so you see that a lot in those two brands, Honda and Toyota.
I don't remember the last time I've had a customer or a person that tried to buy a car that was less than a 600 credit. Like,
yeah.
it was
Oh, you know what?
September.
It's the area that you guys are working at.
You think so?
Yeah,
well,
'cause-
it does play, but
I worked at the Chapman on Boulder Highway, Dodge Jeep Chrysler Ram. Bro, we'd get a lot of
rats,
a lot of really bad credit.
It's funny how credit rules your life. I really never even thought about credit. They
Yeah.
should teach about it in school.
Yeah.
I didn't even care about my credit or paying bills until I met my wife. I didn't pay nothing. And
kind of
now
a
my credit's
scam.
kind of good. It's great. Yeah, it is.
It's kind of a scam. You have these people that, life throws a bunch of curveballs at you at any point in time, and you have these people that get in a situation that they maybe didn't know too much about beforehand, or something happens in life, they get in an accident or medical, things like that, and because now your credit score is bad, and maybe you're down on your luck and you can't really afford things, now your payments are higher, your interest rates are higher. And then the people that, have good situations where they have good income, they can buy things cash, they don't really need, they have the good rates and they have the low payments. It's kind of weird how...
Did you hear what you said, though? Medical. You see that?
Yeah.
That's why this dude shot him.
Yeah.
What's the bane of America, man, is medical debt.
Burn it down.
You know what? It's that happened a lot with COVID. I worked with a lot of customers that were that just you could look at the credit profile, you could see that they had amazing credit, and then just COVID just messed their credit up.
Yeah.
It just tank their credit. And
if people weren't so greedy, the world would be so much better. I mean, I don't understand. Like, I have enough to survive, and that's what I want. You know, I have enough to give.
Yeah.
That's fine. It's not much, but I can give, you know. I don't understand these people who have to have every fucking acorn. You know what I mean? It's, come on. Share.
I think we might go into another pandemic, bro.
With what?
Pneumonia, bro. That's been going around. I went to a party yesterday, one of my friend's birthday
You're a
parties.
super spreader then. That's why, dude.
Hey. To be fair, I tried not to get there as much as I could. You know what? My girlfriend had pneumonia, and then a week later, I ended up getting it. So it's not like super contagious, but
you want to know something? You sat next to me for like 2 weeks straight, coughing.
Yeah.
I'm fine.
And,
you know what I mean?
Isn't your wife like a sick on her?
No, she's not anymore. She was for like 3-4 days. Not
Really?
yeah.
If I get it, I know where to find you.
It took a while to find it though, right?
Dude, it's. But I've heard that's been going around. Like two people at the party yesterday said that he got sick, where it was really bad and they couldn't breathe, and a lot of things that I went through. But you know, I kind of, as weird as it sounds, I low key like pandemic money is good. They're in the car business.
Is that why you want another pandemic?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
Money's not bad, dude. My you're not. I didn't. My check. I was 7.5 cars, and it was like the most I made in a while. It was pretty decent, you know. So the money's there now.
During the pandemic, I think a lot of dealerships changed their pay plan just because salesmen were making too much money.
Well, it was easy. It was easier to sell because it's like they went to the model that they're at now, but people are like they're more quote unquote smart to it compared to they were in the. It's not being smart to it, but it's just they think they're smarter to it than when they were in the pandemic. They were going to a dealership to just like you were going to the grocery store to buy what you were going to buy. You're not going there to browse. You're not going to TJ Maxx to see if they got a new skirt. You know, you're going to the car dealership to buy a car during the pandemic. You're not going out there because you weren't risking your life. You know.
Yeah.
So that's why it was kind of easier in the pandemic.
Yeah, it was take what you can get. It's like, oh, I don't know. I don't want to pay a market adjustment on a new car. Okay, well, I have one that's a year old. That's even more expensive. You want to buy that one? No. Okay, well.
Well, what about this 10-year-old one that's the same price?
Yeah. The dealerships were all on the same page then, too. Everybody was kind of brand to brand was doing the same things for their pricing, and so it wasn't like you could go somewhere else and get a steal of a deal because the places that did do that were now out of inventory and didn't have any cars to sell.
Yeah.
And they made no money on the cars they sold.
Yeah.
So.
And now it's the opposite where it's like now everyone's dropping their pants quicker than the next guy, and so that makes it tricky. Even as a salesman, you know, they have, oh, well, I called a dealership in Arizona and they're taking 10 grand off and they're doing this. They're giving me 5 grand more for my trade than what it's worth. So can you match it?
Yeah, show me a pencil. Show me a piece of paper that has their letterhead on it. I will match that.
Yeah. I called this dealership in the middle of nowhere that sells, 20 cars a month, and they said they'll blow this car out for me. So.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I looked on their website, sir. There's one one employee, and it's the owner. Okay, sir.
So that's kind of been the downfall of that is everyone's just trying to be the first one to the table. It's better to drop the price and give away a car than let them just go to the next place and they do it for them. So that's kind of the only way to move units right now.
Well, you know what's nice? Did you see how many Honda Civics we have? We have like 40 brand new Honda Civics.
Damn.
Yeah, we haven't had this many in a while.
Yeah.
So if people want a Honda Civic, let's go.
Take your pick.
Yeah, it's probably really typically like towards the end of the year is really
You have
good.
lower, but no, usually typically at the end of the year, you have lower inventory. You know what I mean? Now you can have more choices. Sally, I know you want that blue Civic. Let's go.
Drive Time just voted it the car of the year. The
Did
Civic
they?
Hybrid, yeah.
Drive
It's a
time
nice
or
car.
driveway?
I would get
Drive
that car.
Time. Yeah,
That's a really
100%.
nice car.
100%.
Well, you know why? It's easier for them to make more money on that 29.99% interest rates they sell their cars for. The drive time.
It's just crazy because, like, I've worked at a few different brands and I've seen the other products that are offered, and the Honda line is just like night and day better than any Toyota, better than any Hyundai, any Kia. Yeah. It's absolutely insane. But there's so much loyalty with. I mean, Honda obviously has loyalty, but with Toyota, people don't really care what it is. They're just going to go in and buy it. They're more expensive. They're smaller. They're louder. They're older technology on most of the lines. Like the RAV4 has been the same body style for like 9 years, and it's like 12 cubic feet smaller than the CRV. It's louder than the CRV. It's got less technology than the CRV, and it's like way more expensive, like trim to trim versus the Honda. And people will still go in and buy them, and I still want to go look at it and whatnot. But it is night and day a better product. Like if you put a Civic next to a Corolla, it's like two totally different. You'd think it's two totally different classes of cars.
The Corolla is more like the Elantra than the.
The Corolla is more like the old lady going to the grocery
You know
store.
what I mean? That's what I feel like. The Civic is in its class, a class of its own.
Yeah, the Civic. There's nothing like the Civic.
Yeah,
I think what really helped was just the redesign on the interior and exterior on just all the platforms that they have, because it's just like you said, it's night and day difference. But people are just so loyal to Toyota, it's crazy.
Yeah, I'll tell people. They say, "Oh, you still want to go check out the Toyotas?" And say, "Okay." And I literally say, "I'll see you in 2 hours." And then most of the time, 90% of the time, 2 hours, they're back and ready to buy because it's just night and day quality, night and day. Toyota's kind of taking a little downfall right now with their engines and their quality, and airbag recalls, and
Isn't Toyota base model? Don't they have keys?
I don't know about now, but when I was there, 2 years ago, yes, you had a lot of turnkeys still, a lot of hubcaps still. CarPlay was not standard. I think that stuff is kind of more standard now, but Toyota's model's always been, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, of course.
And then it wasn't broken, and they tried to fix it anyways, and now the Tacomas and the SUVs, their engines are having issues, and their airbags aren't going off, and it's kind of been an interesting thing to see from the outside. But they still will always sell their cars. They'll still always be successful. It's still,
oh yeah, for sure,
a way better brand than a lot of the other brands that are out there to choose from. But if you've got money burning a hole in your pocket, you can certainly go buy a Toyota. But it's kind of pushing Lexus out of business, because Lexus was the luxury of Toyota.
Yeah.
But now every Toyota is like
they're pretty
the luxury
fancy
version of Toyota.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, like the luxury version of Nissan Infinity, huh? Going on.
Yeah, Lexus literally stands for Luxury Exports to the U.S. That's what the LEX US is.
Really?
So they wanted a higher end line, but they didn't want to force it on the Toyota buyer, so they created Lexus. So it's Luxury Exports, EX, and then US. But now the Toyotas are so expensive, like
get a
70,
Lexus cheaper.
60, 70 grand for a 4-cylinder SUV or a 4-cylinder pickup truck.
Did they make Tundra hybrids?
Yeah, they have the Tundra.
Oh, really?
I saw a window sticker for one. It was 96 MSRP.
Yeah, damn.
And it's the same fuel economy as the non-hybrids.
So that's the actual MSRP without a markup is like 96,000?
Yeah, if it's like a capstone or something, it's up there, yeah. But it doesn't even have better fuel economy. It's all for towing. You don't get a dip on your fuel when you're towing, but when you're driving day to day, like 90% of all truck owners do, they just take it to work and home. You're not getting any better fuel economy.
You know what I miss? I worked at a Dodge Jeep Chrysler Ram dealership. It's Stellantis now, so that's a company that owns it. I do miss, even though the cars weren't, there's some cars, a lot of the cars have problems, but some of the cars are just, they're really pretty, like Jeep Wranglers. I had a Scat Pack wide body. I love that thing. I never had a problem with it, but I didn't have it for too long. I just miss selling vehicles that people, it's like their dream cars. I think that's one thing that they do really good. Their trucks, their diesels. I think they have the best diesel engine. And it's a lot easier to crack some people just because it's hard to crack someone on a Civic than it is to crack someone on a Wrangler truck or Dodge Charger.
How true is that that like stereotype that the military, as soon as they sign their signing bonus, they're getting a 392?
Dude, it's easy.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's really easy.
Especially with the base out here.
Yeah,
that's what I mean. You see them come out. 29.99%. I guess I'm doing my 20 years.
I have no financial knowledge whatsoever, but this seems like the right decision to spend on.
Yes. Have you guys ever sold a car to somebody who they like crashed it the same day?
No, luckily I haven't. I haven't. But I saw someone sell a car, and it was a pounder. It was during the time where diesel trucks were really hard to get, so we ended up getting like this really like it was like a 2500 Laramie Black Edition. So it just all the badges were blacked out, and it was really hard truck to get. And the guy said yes to it from California, and the day of, the guy came to pick it up, and the day of, he was gonna come pick it up at like 7 p.m. So the salesman went to go put it in the wash during like 11, 10 a.m. And one of the porters put gas in it.
Ooh.
He put gas. He put gas in the diesel, and the truck stopped working. And yeah, it was a disaster.
I bet you that porter
Dude, he
stopped
was-
working too.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, it's always the porters.
I always blame them.
Yeah, that's the scapegoat. But typically, it ends up being one of the porters too.
No, I've never. Have you ever blamed? Oh, you're not even going to answer this. So I'm not even going to ask you. I was going to say, have you ever blamed something that you've done on somebody else? But why would you answer that? Don't answer that.
No.
Yeah, I've never done that actually.
No.
I wouldn't be able to do that like consciously.
Yeah.
Now, I've probably done it in the past when I was a scumbag, but not anymore.
I've done nothing wrong.
I've had a customer. You know what? This is during the same time. This was towards the last day of the month. He so it was an older gentleman and his like niece or something, and she was pretty old. She was like 30. The guy was like 50. So they come in and they're like, "Yeah, we want to look at a Dodge Charger RT." I'm like, "Okay, who is it for? You know, you gotta know who it's for." It's like, "Oh, it's for my uncle." So I go and I'm telling him about the car, and then she's like, "No, I want this one. I want that one." So it's like, you know, who is it really for? Anyways, we do the deal, and then during January, late January, my manager's like, "Hey, remember that guy that you sold the Charger with the niece?" He's like, "Well, the niece ended up taking the Charger and running off with it, and he didn't make the first payment, so it was a first payment default." I never got charged back for it.
Really?
Yeah, so I think it was like a 3-pounder. I didn't get charged back for it, which is nice.
Gotta love family.
Right?
All right, so I think that's where we're gonna cut it off. We're reaching that hour mark. If you like the video, we do have right now we only have one video available, but if you're watching this maybe like a month, 2 months later, 3 months later, we'll probably have more videos. So feel free to take a look. I'm gonna put some videos at the end of this end scene where you're gonna be able to click on other videos they want to watch. But thank you for watching. Do you guys have anything you want to say before we end?
No, thank you. Click subscribe.
Mr. Elon Musk, I'm sorry. Don't send any hitmans after me.
You're done. I forgot about that.
To the drones out there, just hurry up and get it over with.
Yes, do it before we have to go back to work, please. I don't want to have to go in. Well, we open, so yeah. No, you can wait a week, please.
All right, thank you guys.